Hello, everyone, and welcome to another installment of our CapeSpace Connection series. I'm your host, Haley Cote, Community Manager for CapeSpace Mashpee, and today I am so excited to have here with me a fellow Mashpee member, Chris Fegela. Chris, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Thanks so much for joining us here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So you ready to just dive on in?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. So Chris, I'll have you start off by telling me what you do for work and how you got into that particular field.
I'm currently working as a cloud computing engineer. I've been doing that for about 8 years now, working primarily in Amazon Web Services. I've had a couple positions at various companies in various industries, and that's been going great. And prior to that, I had been in higher education IT for almost 10 years, doing a mix of various computer stuff. So that mix of skills lent itself to this kind of like modern cloud-based DevOps engineering role that I'm currently in.
Interesting. So what exactly is like cloud engineering in that whole world? Like what do you do basically, I guess, kind of in layman's terms?
For the bulk of the history of like computers, you have these giant racks, and you have like physical computers, and you're installing the computers, you're installing software, you're doing the networking, and it's very hands-on with physical computers. Whereas now with the shift to cloud computing, there's basically, instead of a bare metal server sitting in a rack in a closet, you just log on to Amazon Web Services, or Microsoft and Google also have cloud providers, and you're basically using virtualized servers and virtualized networking, and everything is just, it takes some of the day-to-day headaches and the care and feeding and cost associated with traditional server computing, and it just shifts that to the cloud.
Interesting. Okay. What drew you to that particular field? What do you enjoy most about that kind of work?
What I've found, especially getting into it, I've worked in startups and some mid-sized companies, and what I like best is building new systems from the ground up, or updating older legacy systems. And what I've found is as the systems and the projects mature, and it switches to more of like a daily maintenance thing, I start to get bored. So that's when I'm usually looking around for new opportunities.
Nice. And Chris, what's been the biggest change in your industry in the last year, maybe in light of COVID? What have you seen?
I think that there were a large amount of companies that never would have considered remote work, either full remote or even partially remote. And because of the pandemic, full remote was forced upon them. And I think what they've realized is that there are increases in productivity, employee satisfaction goes up, and in some cases, depending on what people are doing with office space issues, you can really recognize some great cost savings too.
Well, that perfectly sets up my next question for you, Chris, which is, well, by the way, how long have you been a member here at CapeSpace?
I started back in October of 2020. Spent a month and a half at the Hyannis location waiting for Mashpee to open up. And ever since Mashpee opened, I've been here.
Nice. So Chris, so speaking of remote working and having to find a place to work, what have you found most beneficial about being a member here at CapeSpace? What have you enjoyed most?
I have always done well working outside of the office, but I've also never done well working at home. There's just too many distractions. It's too easy to go, make yourself yet another sandwich, raid the fridge. It's too easy to put the TV on in the background, and especially when summer hits and there are kids that aren't in school all day, it's just always, distraction after distraction, where, I get to come here, I've got a nice daily routine, and everything just runs very smoothly.
Awesome. So Chris is a Business Lounge member, and he mentioned too, as a Business Lounge member, you get to use both of our locations, which is a nice perk. But if any of you watching are interested in the type of membership Chris has, or just anything else CapeSpace has to offer, I'd encourage you to visit capespace.com. So now, Chris, on to some more lighthearted, fun, rapid fire questions. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your favorite hobby?
Favorite hobbies. I'm really into bike touring. I like
Hmm.
wine tasting, and I'm really into hot tubbing. And preferably, if I can wrap those three activities into like one day or one trip, then that's even better.
Interesting. Do you have a favorite place where maybe you like a go-to place to do those kind of activities or?
On the Cape, both the Cape Cod Rail Trail from Dennis to Wellfleet and closer to the Mashpee office is the Shining Sea Bikeway in Falmouth. Those are luckily some of the best trails in the country, and they're right in the backyard here on the Cape.
Exactly. And the hot tubbing is interesting too. Is that you do that often?
I grew up skiing, and there's never anything better after a day of skiing than jumping in the hot tub. It's a little harder. There's not really a hot tub culture per se on the Cape, but
Mhm.
you can always wish.
Right, exactly. Yeah, maybe you could start it up.
Yes.
Right. What are you currently binge watching or maybe reading?
uh, my New Year's resolution was to try to read possibly a
Mhm.
book a month. That's like all New Year's resolutions. That's falling by the wayside. I am succeeding at buying a lot of books, but
Mhm.
I am not succeeding at finishing any of them. But my last binge and current binge is a show called The Head on HBO, which is a
Mhm.
6 episode, 6 hour murder mystery set in Antarctica. And I'm currently I binged it end to end the first time, and I'm currently halfway through my second go around.
Oh, wow.
It, it,
Was
it,
that good?
it's amazing. Highly
Wow, okay.
recommend.
Yeah, I'm big into murder mystery, so I'll have to check that out.
You'll love it.
So what song or maybe album is currently on repeat on your playlist?
I just had my birthday last week,
Yes.
so I've been listening to Iron Maiden's "Wasted Years."
Hmm.
It reminds me that the best years are still ahead.
Yes, yes. That's awesome. What would you say, this is always a fun question, what would you say is your superpower?
Uh, I have an incredible ability to turn money into impulse purchases.
Uh-huh. Yeah, what's an example?
Uh, I I don't play guitar as much
Hmm.
as I should, but I really like the way they look. So I'm always able to justify yet another guitar purchase. Occasionally I'll ebb and flow through kind of a watch hobby. Again,
Hmm.
I'm always wearing the same watch, but that doesn't seem to stop me from buying watches
Hmm.
that I don't need and possibly will never wear,
Hmm.
sitting in my, nightstand.
Hey, you only live once. Why not enjoy some of the finer
Exactly.
things?
YOLO.
Yeah. And lastly here, Chris, what's the best advice you've ever gotten?
In a previous life, I was living down in North Carolina and was involved in this Ultimate Frisbee Summer League, which I'd never played the sport and, had really never played team sports at all growing up.
Hmm.
And there were a lot of these people like me on the team. And the captain said, you know, when you don't know where you are in the field, you don't know where you're going, just stop moving. And that has it makes sense far beyond the field. If you don't know where you are and you don't know where you're going, stop moving until you figure it out.
Hmm. Wow, that's excellent advice. Always important to have perspective.
Exactly.
Okay, Chris, before I let you go, is there anything else you wanted to make note of? I don't know if anybody could reach out to you. I don't know what your company you work for, if you could, if anybody was interested in your services you have to offer.
I am pretty booked up right now, so I'm not
Okay,
freelancing. But
okay.
and if there are any recruiters hearing this, please, I'm all booked up for the foreseeable future. But thanks anyway.
Good to know. Okay, well, thank you so much again for Chris. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
And
my pleasure.
thank you guys all for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.